Hey everybody, I am going to make black-eyed peas. How about that? Black-eyed peas in the pressure cooker. So gone are the days when you have to make your peas and beans and things like that and make them for like hours on the stove. That's gone with our pressure cooker. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take, this is a small onion that I've quartered up to fit into our supersonic small chopper. And if you have a large onion, I would just do about a quarter of it. All right. So basically you want to put that in, chop it. You don't want it really, really fine. Okay. So don't be like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay. You want to taste some. That's why I'm going kind of slow. I don't want it really, really chopped up too small. As you can see, that's a nice size. So not puree, okay? As you know, our chopper can do that. It can chop and chop and chop, and next thing you know, you have juice. That's not what you want with your onions. We're gonna take your black-eyed peas, and these have been rinsed and drained. And then I'm gonna use, you can either use ham, you can use a sausage, a kvasse. This is a smoked sausage. And I used the other piece when I made the cabbage and potatoes. And since it's Bill and I, you know, I'm not cooking for a whole bunch of people. So this makes it great. So I just split that into two servings or two cookings, as you would say. All right, cut that down. Nice, nice, nice. And I can do that last one, right? There we go. All right, so add that in. We're gonna add 4 cups of stock. I have a vegetable stock going into that. Always remember with your pressure cooker, you have a fill line on it. So you don't want to ever go above a fill line. I'm going to add a bay leaf. Now, I grow my own bay leaves in my herb garden, and this is just a small one. So I've left it kind of attached together. It looks like a holly leaf, but I'm really not putting a holly leaf in there. I'm putting bay. It's kind of nice to be able to go out and just pick a bay leaf off. So, and the seasoning for this, I'm going to use, once again, I'm using our seasoning salt. All right, so stir that together. That's as easy as it is. I do like to add celery to this. A lot of times I just didn't have celery today, so we're going without it. But if you like jalapeno, you can chop up some jalapeno in it as well. You're going to take your base, you're going to line up on the top or the cover of the pressure cooker. There's a small arrow, and there's a small arrow on the handle. When you set them on top of each other, of those arrows, it kind of drops right on. Couple things, when you use your pressure cooker, always make sure that your ring is inserted correctly. And then also your indicator that's in, because I've actually heard of somebody not having their indicator. She's watching, I'm sure. She didn't check her indicator and she did not have success with that, right? So you got to make sure your indicator is in correctly, line it up, close it, and that's it. Now, instead of 2 hours on the stove, we're going to cook this just 20 minutes in the pressure cooker, and it's going to be done. So let's pop this in, and I'll show you what it looks like when the timer goes off. How about that? All right, so I just pulled out the black-eyed peas, and or actually the microwave just went off, so I'm letting that indicator come all the way back down. In the meantime, we have to have cornbread. I mean, there's no way you can eat black-eyed peas without cornbread. So I'm going to use the base of my mix and store pitcher, and first thing I'm going to do is crack an egg. This will take 1 egg, and you're just gonna mix that up a little bit. I always put my egg in first, because that way I can mix it up. All right, we're gonna add to that 1 cup of yellow cornbread mix, 1/3 of a cup of flour. We're gonna use 3 tablespoons of baking powder, baking powder, 1 teaspoon of, wait, let me get those in there. That was 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I think I said tablespoon. And 1 teaspoon of sugar. I already had that pre-measured. And then we're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt in that, 2/3 a cup of milk. Let's see if I can do this one without spilling. Look at that, like a pro, like a pro. And 3 tablespoons of oil. Okay. 1, 2. I always like buying my oil at Costco because I can get a really nice quality of either olive oil or if you're buying corn oil. And then I use it in my counterscapes. I love these because it just makes it really easy to pour out. All right, so that is it in our cornbread mix. So I'm just going to stir this. Don't over mix cornbread. You can over mix it, so be real careful that you don't do that. I love the mix and stir pitcher. I love the handle on it. Makes it so nice to be able to, you notice how I turn mine up. We all have our tips and techniques as we cook, right? So love the clearness of it. Gosh, I can remember when I was a little kid, my mom had one of these and it actually had the spout and handle. It was much different, but she used that from everything in the kitchen. I'll never forget, that was like the piece of Tupperware I say, oh, my mom always used that. So pretty neat. That and the fix and mix bowl. And every time they talk about it, it gets bigger. Anyhow, back to our cornbread. So the cornbread, I'm going to use our micro-pro grill. Of course, you could put this in the oven, be 400 degrees if you were doing that. But instead, I'm going to do it in our micro-pro grill with the silicone ring. So you're going to take the silicone ring, you're going to set it right into the base. And you're going to take about 2/3 a cup of cornmeal mix. Now you could buy a box of cornbread mix. Okay, you can, Central Market makes one, Jiffy makes one, that's fine. But it's so inexpensive to make that, and this, I had to get a new one today, but I saved this just so you can see, this is cornmeal. And that's what you use when you make your cornbread, cornmeal, unless you're buying a box of Jiffy or something like that. And if you are, then everything's in it. But this is easy. I use this for a lot of things. So I'll be putting that in my modular plate. You're going to take the cover and you're going to set it right on top. And now this is creating an oven effect, right? So we're going to put that in the microwave, and every microwave is a little different. All right. So again, when you make yours, I'm just going to encourage you to, I'd say a good 5 to 6 minutes. That's what I'm going to start with this. So let's pop that in and get her going. All right. So the cornbread will be in, because you have to have that with my cabbage, right? And my black-eyed peas. Very good. All right, so when your pressure cooker is finished, what you look for is the indicator. Let me do this. This yellow indicator actually rises up and kind of, vibrates, if you will, when there's pressure in the chamber. Once the pressure has gone down, the indicator's down. And so that tells you it's safe to open. All you're going to do is lift the handle up. You're going to turn it like this, away from you, put that juice back in there, and it looks really terrific. Just looks terrific. Yum, yum. So I'm using a slotted spoon for this because I used 4 cups of the, what I use, vegetable stock, right? There's quite a bit of juice in it, and that's fine, but let me show you how pretty, oh so pretty. Okay, take a look. Isn't that great? For those of you that love black-eyed peas and beans and stuff, they're just so easy. 15, 20 minutes in your pressure cooker. There are some beans that when I cook them, I will cook them for 20 minutes. I'll let the indicator come back down. I stir and check it inside, make sure my liquid level is good. And I put it back in for another 20 minutes because there are some that need that extra cooking time, but it sure does beat standing at the stove for several hours, right? So black-eyed peas, they'll bring you, what is the wives' tale? They're gonna bring you prosperity, money, and Tupperware parties. All right, so I'm gonna let our cornbread cook and then I'll restart this just so that we don't drag it out for you, and we'll take a look at it. All right, everybody, so I cooked it for 6 minutes and I just pulled it out. Let's take a peek, see what we find. Looks pretty great. So you're gonna see how it comes out in the silicone. I will tell you every once in a while I've had some sort of batter or something leak out under the silicone mold, but not typically with a batter like this. All right, so I want you to see how easy this is to take off. I'm literally picking up the mold. That's how easy it is. It comes right off, nothing sticks. So now I have heard of people that really, they like to flip this and put it back in and have the susceptor on the top, you know, that grilling method to brown it, but I never have a need to it. So you can see, let me show you before I put it on the plate, how pretty it is. Okay. So that is it. I'm going to go ahead, put it in. I don't have to wait any extra time. And now I can just add the rest of my cornbread. So this batch makes 2, Bill and I, cornbread. Hey, eat healthy, right? It's the new year. That's what we're supposed to do. All right. And we'll put this in for 6 minutes and it's done. And I didn't have to heat up my kitchen. I didn't have to heat up the oven. It is all ready to go. So that is ready. We'll put that in. But I want to show you the cornbread. All right, so here it is on our plate. Cut it however you like to serve it, right? I'm just going to do little forwards. And look at that. So pretty. Looks really great. Let me show you. Isn't that nice? You can fill it higher if you want. I just always split it in half, make 2. That way it's not coming out and over. I'm gonna use butter. And just as a reminder, with our butter dishes, we make 2 different ones. This is for a pound, and this is for your stick of butter, right? What I love about the butter dishes, it does have the tablespoon markings on it. So that makes it really nice. But we always have one in the fridge and one sitting out. How many of you love room temperature butter, right? That's a good thing. All right, put your butter on. Well, maybe you don't like butter. I don't remember if you do, but my hubby, you guys all know Bill, he loves butter. So he would put this whole pad on it and that would be his ready to roll. So cornbread in 6 minutes. How about that? Pretty awesome, right? So again, use any cornbread recipe you like. I'll post the one that I made today. You can Google so many different ones. We have them on our website, different kinds. You can add corn, you can do all kinds of things, but this is a basic cornbread and it's gonna go great with those black-eyed peas. Okay, so thanks for watching. I hope you'll make this because it is yummy. Bye-bye.